FHS season tickets.
Welcome into another episode of FHS Season Tickets. I'm Michael, and today I'm going to be alone, but I'm not totally alone, just alone in the studio, as we have a guest, Old Takes Exposed on Twitter, Fred Segal. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, Michael, yes, I'm Fred Segal. I'm here in West Palm Beach, Florida, just ready to go on the FHS Season Ticket. I operate the Twitter feed, Old Takes Exposed. You know, just me. I look back at old predictions and prognostications that were, unprophetic or flat out wrong from mostly sports personalities, but other people as well.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of the page for a long while. Actually, I think you're the first person from Florida to be on the show. We had Barrett Sleep from Georgia, Cole Kubelik from Alabama on the show from that sort of region, but I do think you're the first one from Florida joining in on FHS Season Tickets. That's pretty exciting. Expanding to another state, as we've been in I think 14 different states. All right, so we're going to jump into this talking first things first. You, as a Florida graduate and diehard Florida fan, Vandy, my team, takes on Florida this weekend. What are you expecting from this game?
I don't expect it to be a very high-scoring game. University of Florida is one of the most pedestrian offenses, and there it is. Vanderbilt's not much different. Probably be around the same area. And the University of Florida is known to be really crappy in these noon games. They do really bad in them. And they play at noon at home. It just doesn't scream high scoring. I'm going to go with 17-7, maybe UF wins. But it's not going to make people believe that it's not going to give the fans any hope that UF is going to break out of and be a powerful team this year. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I actually, first time all year, I'm taking Vandy against the spread. I always do my bets, post them on Twitter. Right now I'm 42-31. I'll post my official bets for the week coming up Thursday before the Texas-Iowa game because I have a bet going in that game. So I took Vandy against the spread. I think 10 points is too much. Remember the last time Vandy went to the Swamp for a noon game? I'm sure you remember it. The 9-7 game?
Yeah, I remember that game. That was just a terrible game. Oh, God. We should have lost.
Yeah.
Derek Mason set the blueprint for Treon Harris after that game. Kept him in the pocket. Everyone followed after. The week after that, or maybe it was 2 weeks after, we played Florida Atlantic, and they took us to overtime. And that game was even worse. And we won that one because everyone was able to stop Treon after that game.
I can imagine being 2-0 in those games, that Florida Atlantic and Vandy game, with how bad your offense was those couple games.
It's better. Now it's better than it was. Beginning Vandy, ending the end of the season that year. It was the worst. It was so bad by the end of the season. But
because didn't you guys get beat bad by Florida State at the end of that year?
Yeah, we scored 2 points. Yeah, and they weren't that good of a Florida State team. And we stopped Dalvin Cook. Everyone talks about Dalvin Cook at 150, 2 TDs. That game we stopped him very well. Defense is on the field all game though. By the end, he started breaking stuff. It was a good opportunity for us to be able to beat FSU that year, and we didn't have the right quarterback. So.
That's the life of a Florida fan recently. Just bad quarterback play. I mean, I've lived through it my whole life as a Vandy fan. Kyle Shermer this year has been better than probably anyone I've had in my life. Maybe Jordan Rodgers, but even that wasn't great either.
So. Yeah. It was a good game back in 2011 with Jordan Rodgers.
Was that when
It was a really good game.
Was that when Vandy won, or was that the year?
Ended up winning.
Oh,
He ended up winning that game. Yeah.
So that was.
No, the quarterback was
Austin Carter Samuels.
I think it was.
Yep.
I think I beat us in 2013.
Yeah, We beat Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee that year. I think it's the only time that's ever happened. Still didn't go to the SEC title game because I think Missouri went that year.
Yeah.
But we had some breaking news in college sports this past couple days. College basketball, I know you're a diehard college basketball fan, as I am. Were you surprised at all by the allegations that were led on by the four coaches? Because, like, I was not surprised at all that this happened.
No, I'm surprised that, I'm surprised that, I always am surprised when stuff like this is, like, comes out, like, there's a huge investigation. You never think that this stuff is ever going to come out, but you know this stuff goes on everywhere. It's just hard to, put a gauge on who does it, who doesn't, and who did it for what recruit. Everyone likes to say that someone did it for this specific recruit when their team
Misses out on it.
But, it's like you can't guess, but you know this stuff goes on everywhere, so it's not surprising that this actually happened, but it is surprising that, something of this caliber broke out and was investigated by the FBI. I always thought it would just be the NCAA who doesn't have the resources to catch much unless they have someone feeding them information.
Yeah, you talked about this a little bit with the guy from Rivals, Mike, I do believe. He was on your podcast. But you really just talk about recruiting and how that has changed throughout the years, because recruiting now is such a big part of college basketball and college football. Like, you can't, in the off season, that's like pretty much all that they're talking about. And it's just so important to winning. Like, you cannot win consistently in college football and college basketball without grinding out top 20, top 15 classes year after year, or you're just going to get left behind.
Well, you can't, in college basketball, the difference between, to me, in college football, college basketball recruiting, you can still win if you don't get the top classes, but you may not win consistently. But you can still win, and you can win big, but you just have to get the right collection of players, because in college basketball, the best players are going to leave. So you'll have teams like Kentucky who's going to recycle every single year, and some years they may not be as good as others. And especially like if you're playing one team like Wisconsin that year who didn't have the same talent as Kentucky, although they did have a lot of talent. In that the year of Kentucky before, they had a collection of players who played together for so long, and probably are bigger. It's another thing people don't understand. I remember when I was watching UF versus Kentucky in 2014, I think it was, the Gators went undefeated that year in conference. It was at Kentucky. They showed pictures of Gator players and the Kentucky players. And there were guys like Patrick Young and Willie Gett for the Gators who just aren't good enough to play in the NBA, but they were so much bigger than the Kentucky guys. So you take guys and you put them in a collection of players and put them together for 4 years, they can beat teams of greater talent a lot of the time.
Yeah, I would say.
So it's like, in college basketball you can win, especially because you just have to get like 3 or 4 great players, and the rest role players. Instead of college football where you have just a boatload of great talent. But you're probably not going to win consistently if you're not recruiting the best players.
Yeah, no, I would say that Wisconsin, Florida, and North Carolina are probably like the 3 schools that don't consistently recruit at like the top level, but they've still been very consistent in the amount of success that they've had keeping players in. I want to say North Carolina's only had like one and done recruit in the past like 10 years, which is really crazy considering that you would expect them to consistently be getting some of the top recruits in the country and just taking them to the NBA, but North Carolina hasn't been doing that. They've made it to back-to-back national title games.
Well, they do get a lot of great recruits who end up being just not good enough to be in the NBA. Like Joel Berry and Marcus Page are really high recruits, but they're just not NBA guys. So those are the best guys, I guess, for college basketball coaches. The ones who are great recruits who have to stay.
Yeah,
like
the ones.
Louisville had Peyton Siva.
Russ Smith. Yeah.
So those guys are the best.
Yeah, speaking of Louisville, Rick Pitino just fired today, actually like 25 minutes ago before we started recording. So that was a major news story. I didn't think he'd make it through the season, but I was shocked to see that Louisville just let him go instantly. I'm probably a good move for Louisville in all honesty, but still a little bit surprised that they just went ahead and did it so quickly.
Well, Pitino was, he had one more. He was done after anything came out. He just about something. The I mean, the athletic director, Tom Church, who's been there like 20 years, and really created the Louisville athletic program and got him into the ACC. And Louisville's a pretty good high major program now, and that was all him. So that's where they're going to have to really, is where things are really going to get. We're going to wonder what's going to happen to that program, because Church was that program. And Patino they can replace. Even though Patino's awesome, I mean, you can get another coach. But Church being fired, that changes everything. Everything.
How much of an impact do you think that college athletic directors really have on like coaching and also helping just build up the program? Because you gave him a lot of credit, and I'm sure most of the people who don't really follow college athletics really closely know anything about him or any college director really.
Well, I mean, it's all about. It's not just about hiring the coaches. That's what you see. I mean, if you hire crappy coaches, it's not gonna help. You're probably gonna be gone. But it's about fundraising. It's about making moves for your program and making moves for the school. So like fundraising to get better facilities, making the right decisions in terms of who you're going to hire as a coach, and doing things that are going to help you the program move forward and become bigger and more credible and have more credibility. And that's where the athletic. But I mean, like as an athletic, you're putting yourself on the line when you're associating yourself with someone like Patino. So that's another thing that you have to do. That that guy Garrett was, he lived and died with Patino. I mean, you see that with Mississippi, because I'm sure the Mississippi athletic director was just like with Hugh Freeze. But I mean, you have to have good relationships with all the people on the staff. I think it's more of being able to get donations and fundraise. That's really probably the biggest part. Besides hiring, obviously, and when firing at the right time.
Yeah, Louisville became such an insane sports program because they have the Heisman Trophy winner. I think they were ineligible for the tournament last year, but still a great basketball team that was ranked throughout all season. And then their baseball team too, which obviously not many people care about baseball, but I believe they were ranked throughout all season and made a deep run in the playoffs. So just looking at that program, I
thought they made the tournament. They made the tournament. They lost to Michigan, right? Second round.
Oh yeah, you're right. That was
the year before.
That was 2 years ago. Yeah. You're right about that. I had Louisville in the Elite Eight, I think.
They are always, with Patino, always one of the teams that everyone pushes to the Final Four, no matter what. Like if they're 4 seed, I think Louisville's going to come out of that road. They're like the sleeper. I mean, it's crazy how people turn. What crazy to me is you saw Yahoo.com Pat Forty wrote blow up the program.
Yeah.
He's known for being the most pro-Patino guy, an anti-University of Kentucky guy. Just the most pro-Patino guy. Like, attached to the hip, like, everything good about Patino, everything good about Louisville program. So that was surprising. Because he's in Louisville, he's out of Louisville.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Do you remember he was covering the Kentucky versus Wichita State game, and there's like this famous photo of, I think it was Greg Marshall's wife just screaming like 2 rows above him, and he just looks like so annoyed. I think it was his like Twitter avatar for a couple months.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he was. Yeah, probably rooting for Wichita State until like she's in his ear all night.
Yeah, for sure. But that's a great. It's going to be interesting college basketball. I'm just interested where the recruits are going to go. But they're probably gone. A lot of them. Anyone that took money is going to have to go to like Europe or something. Yeah.
Well, we saw that one 2018 recruit for Auburn, 5-star, EJ Montgomery, I think it was. He just decommitted, so we'll see how this affects.
Yeah, Bruce Pearl always toes the line.
Yeah, when he was at Tennessee too.
That's what people thought would be there. I'm interested in University of Miami because they had been, I'm down here in South Florida, and University of Miami basketball is a very niche
They're really good this year.
Much better, and Jim Larnick is great. But they've been recruiting really, really well, better than University of Miami has ever recruited. They've gotten some great talent that's not local. And that Bruce Brown kid, they got that Lonnie Walker kid. I mean, all those guys are really high recruits. They beat out really big schools for them. And apparently one of the kids, Miami, it seems to be the program that was giving money to one of the kids. So, yeah, they're in the need of school.
Yeah.
That would be bad for, for that. Because they always have a fun team, blue-collar team, great defense, great athletes.
Miami is going to be really good in basketball this year. Like, if you think that is a football-only school this year, you're going to be wrong about that, because Walker and Bruce Brown, those could be 2 lottery picks on one team, which really doesn't happen that often for a team that doesn't have huge success. So I'm expecting big things from the Hurricanes this season. And then,
yeah, they have great depth too. And they got another kid from Washington area, a shorter kid, who's really high recruit. I mean, they recruit really well, and it's yeah. I guess people are starting to raise their eyebrows because they were in the city report, but so it doesn't look good for them.
no.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for them. Florida seems to never really get a lot of top recruits, I would say.
Well, Billy Donovan used to get the best recruits.
That was a long time ago for me.
I went to
no.
University of Florida around 2000. I was there in 2003, and he always had the best recruits. He got Mike Miller, who was from North Dakota or South Dakota, and he got him. And Roy Williams was so mad. Roy Williams was in Kansas. He was like, "How the heck does Florida get this guy?" And said that Billy was cheating. And we got guys like Anthony Roberson, Matt Walsh, guys like that. All those guys are top recruits. James Flight White, who ended up being there for 1 year. David Lee. David Lee was from Missouri. But then after he got the 2004 class, which was like the 04 recruiting class, which had Joakim Noah and Al Horford and Corey Brewer, Torrey Green. And those guys weren't the highest recruits. They were good recruits, but not the highest. I think Corey Brewer was a McDonald's All-American. All the rest of them weren't. And that team was so good and won back-to-back titles that Billy he was done recruiting like the highest guys. And also, if he ever tried to recruit a guy, Calipari would get him. Calipari got every single guy that we wanted. I heard we wanted Alex Poitras so bad. Julius Randle so bad.
This is actually really interesting that you mentioned Alex Poitras. So back in 2015, I think, I did a video on, it was kind of based off of Mike Rozemba's series where he does like what ifs for the NBA. I did a video on what if John Calipari doesn't take the Kentucky job. So he stays in Memphis, and it was like this thing. I looked at all these recruits, and I actually had Alex Poitras going to Florida instead of Memphis, where Calipari was at the time. It was just a really fun video to make. It was like 25 minutes. I had to do so much research. So like I knew everything from like all those recruiting classes that Kentucky had and stuff like that.
He stayed at Memphis, you said?
Yeah. So
he would have got Boogie Cousins and John Wall to go to Memphis.
I actually put Boogie at Alabama, I think, and I had John Wall follow him to Memphis.
Boogie was committed to University of Alabama at Birmingham, and then, but then he decommitted and went and committed to Memphis.
Yeah.
And then he followed Calipari too. And they had great recruiting. They had Josh Pastner as an assistant there, and he's a crazy good.
He had a lot of good recruits at Memphis, and then that team kind of fell apart recently the past couple of years.
Yeah. Well, Tubby Smith does things his way, and he just, the local guys that Pastner brought in didn't clash with Tubby. And Tubby just doesn't take any crap from anybody, so he just let those guys go. But now he doesn't have any players.
Yeah, and Pastner has a really hard job at Georgia Tech right now.
It's a perfect job for him because he doesn't seem like to be a championship level coach.
You can get good recruits.
Get great players in a great area to get players.
Yeah, that Atlanta area always has some great basketball talent. But I'm not sure what else we should really mention right now.
I can tell you, the Patino story for my feed is good. It's it gets to a point where I say, like, what do I post? How much more do I post? You know, like, because there's so much out there.
Yeah, you're spoiled for choice.
I pulled something from a newspaper. I have a newspaper archive that messes sometimes. But
that's going so far back.
Yeah, well, this one wasn't far back. I mean, the one I found was from newspapers. Was like
2011, right?
You could have found on the internet. But I think Kentucky people are just ecstatic right now. They just over the moon. Because Calipari is always thought of as the scumbag, but it really appears that Patino's a bigger one.
Yeah.
Much bigger. And there's nothing besides like some of the stuff that happened to Calipari with like the grade changing at Memphis and things like that, which you gotta assume happens with all these stars that aren't gonna go to class. Like Derrick Rose, things like that.
Well, how do you convince a one and done basketball player to actually consistently go to class?
Well, the key is the standardized tests. Like my opinion, the way I think it goes is just the coach just says, like, get this guy in, like, I want this guy to be in, and just doesn't know doesn't want to know how he got him in.
Well, North Carolina had that big
It's
problem.
the job of the underlings to have somebody get that test score.
Yeah, no.
And I have to assume that there's someone else in that testing room a lot of the time.
Oh, yes. North Carolina basketball had a big problem with that. And then also there was a big SI story probably like 6 years ago about Oklahoma State. And there was a story of a player who they were talking about stuff, and one player asked another player to spell house, and he spelled it H-A-S.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because if those guys don't end up making it pros, like what do they have? But I think it goes on a lot, and you gotta get lucky, or you get unlucky sometimes. If there's one tutor who gets really upset and just spills the beans, and I think that's what's going on with North Carolina. The biggest one was Minnesota back in 1999. There's a writer named George Norman. He was at Sports Illustrated. He wrote a great book about, you'd actually love this book. It's called Play Your Hearts Out. It's about AAU basketball.
Yeah.
He broke a story about all this grade changing and fixing in Minnesota. This was right before the tournament. Right before Minnesota played the tournament. Minnesota was Gonzaga that year, 99, was their first Cinderella run. They went through the whole tournament and got to the grade 8. They beat the Gators in Sweet 16. But nobody knew who Gonzaga was except that John Stockton went there before this tournament run, the first one, 1999. Dan Monson was the coach. Minnesota, they were like an 11 seed, Gonzaga or something. Minnesota was a 6. Minnesota was good, but they were only, like 5 players were suspended based on that story. And so they had like 7 guys.
That's a killer.
And then they fired the coach, who was Clem Haskins, because of the scandal. And then Dan Monson left Gonzaga after the tournament and went to Minnesota.
Wow.
And that's when Mark Few was the assistant at Gonzaga. He took over, and Gonzaga's been consistently great ever since. Monson flamed out at Minnesota. I don't even know where he is now. I think he's in Long Beach State or something.
Oh, really?
But that was one of the biggest academic scandals there was. Minnesota program had to really rebuild after that because they had made the Final Four 2 years before.
Yeah, that was before my time.
Quincy Lewis. Yeah, so that's a return. But the ultimate Gus Johnson call was against the Gators.
Gus is the best.
The Gonzaga and the slipper still fits. Because Gonzaga was one of the original great Cinderellas. Now they're no longer a Cinderella at all. But
Nope.
at that time they were.
Yeah, I consider Gonzaga. They've been a mainstay in college basketball my entire life.
Yeah, right before you were born, this is when Gonzaga came in, and they came. Nobody knew who they were. Nobody.
Because they're at
And they were.
like a 20-year run of making the tournament. So this would have been like
Yeah,
the
Mark,
second or third year.
Is like the most amazing thing what he does, and now he gets people to go there, and he gets transfers too. Like he'll get.
That's the biggest thing.
Like Nigel Williams-Goss, guys like that, they'll go to Gonzaga.
Yeah, I think they got Jordan Matthews too out of Cal, Nigel Williams-Goss, and then they had a big guy like 2 years ago who was a really good transfer too. But transfers, that's another way how you stay consistently good in college basketball. Iowa State does it all the time.
The transfer market is great. Yeah. University of Miami is really good at that. With,
Oh, really? Was Larry Naga?
Angel Rodriguez, Trey McKinney Jones, things like that. I think that they have Kamari Murphy. He brings in those guys. Now Rodriguez is a great one. He's a local kid.
Where did you go before?
He was at Kansas State because of Frank Martin.
Oh, okay.
And Frank Martin has great ties in Miami. And he was there for 1 year. Martin left. He did the second year with Weber, but he didn't want to stay in Kansas State. He wanted to be closer to home. So he went to Miami. And so a lot of the guys that Larry Naga uses, UF's been good with transfers too. Especially when we made the Final Four, we had that Dorian Finney-Smith kid.
He was really good.
Yeah, he was with Virginia Tech, and then when Seth Greenberg got fired, he left.
I remember at the end of Kevin Stallings' tenure, right before, like a year or two before, we had like 5 guys transfer out of the program. And that next season, we only had like 7 scholarship players, and like 3 walk-ons ended up playing significant minutes. It was horrible. Because we had 9 scholarship players, and then 2 of them like hurt their knees and were done for the season. So by the time conference play rolled around, we had like 7 guys.
Kevin Stallings, that guy.
I'm so happy that
He had a good run, though.
he did.
He had a good run. Yeah.
For like
He had a good run.
16 years, and his time came up, and I'm so happy that he took the job at Pitt, and that was
Right.
hired Bryce
Well,
Drew,
Bryce Drew looks good. I
the
mean,
man
you
who
gotta
owns
You
Florida.
can't judge a program by, it's like the Bruce Weber theory. You can't judge the program by until like 3 years in. Because that's when they bring in their own players. Because, I don't know if you remember that Bruce Weber came into Illinois.
With Deron Williams.
He had Bill Self was great. He was in Illinois, and he left. And Bruce Weber came in, and they had D-Ron Williams, Luther Head, all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Illinois was amazing in 2005. Amazing. They made the finals. I think they lost 1 game in the regular season.
They did. Yep.
And everyone loved Bruce Weber after that. But he couldn't bring in his own players that were good.
Yeah, I think Bryce Drew will be fine. I mean, we're already in the final 3 for 1 top 15 recruit. We're in the final 6 for a local point guard who's a top 15 recruit, and we're in like the final 7 for the number 2 small forward in the class, Romeo Langford. So if Bryce Drew gets even 1 of Romeo Langford, Darius Garland's, or Simone Situ, I think his name is. It's kind of a weird name, but those are the 3 guys that Vandy is in the final schools for, and they're all top 15 kids. So if you can get just 1 of them, most likely probably going to be Garland, as he's from Brentwood Academy, which is right next to Nashville. So hopefully he comes.
Brentwood. No, you went to Brentwood.
David Harris, the linebacker.
Or David Harrison. Remember David Harrison, that big time, that big center? Is he still alive? He may have passed away.
David Harrison, how long ago?
He played for University of Colorado. But he was from Nashville.
Yeah, no idea.
And he was in the NBA for the Pacers.
You know we're from Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't sure if you...
No, he's talking about Brentwood. Cleveland has great athletes. I know that.
Yes.
Where's the Ted Yin?
Yeah, Glenville.
High school. Glenville, right. That was it. That was like the Ted Yin and is Troy Smith Glenville too?
I'm not sure. I know his dad coaches there now.
Yeah, Glenville.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, Ohio always has some ridiculous
We go to
recruits.
Catholic school. Where did Desmond Howard go? He's from Cleveland, right?
Let me look that up real quick.
Yeah, I think it went to Saint something or other.
St. Edward, St. Ignatius, probably one of those.
And maybe Elvis Gerback went there too.
I know... Oh no, he went to Villa Angela St. Joseph.
Yeah.
That's also where Alonzo Gaffney goes. Oh no, he goes to Garfield Heights.
Yeah.
I know VASJ has one really good recruit coming up soon for basketball. The place Desmond
Probably
went
go
to.
to Ohio State.
Actually, Ohio State has not been getting a lot of Ohio kids, which was interesting because Mata really tried to focus on Ohio, and then he lost out on Carlton Bragg to Kansas. He lost out on Luke Kennard to Duke, and he lost out on Issa Ahmad to West Virginia. And then right when they started really focusing on the Ohio recruits, after he lost all the big 5 stars, the Ohio recruits had a really down year. And then you bring in Chris Holtman. He brings in the #1 player last year, who was Kyle Young from Butler to Ohio State. But then the rest of the recruits, he signed 4 people for the class of 2018, and only one of them is in-state, and that is Justin Ahrens, who's from down south.
He's doing well, right?
Who?
Holtman.
Yes, doing very well, rebuilding the Ohio State basketball program.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
Very good hire for Ohio State.
Yeah, Holtman. Yeah, the recruiting in college basketball goes by so quick.
Yes.
Yearly, you never know who's going to get what.
And then most of them commit like during weird seasons where there's a lot of other stuff going on, so it never really takes center stage, except for like the summer months with like the Peach Jam and all those random events out in like Las Vegas and stuff like that.
Right, yeah. Those are the ones I was talking to.
Do you have
about that.
Who?
About,
What?
like, the Peach Jam, you want like there's teams like low tier teams who just get so nervous that their kid's gonna blow up in those tournaments and then they're done.
Yes.
Committed to them.
That is, that's always bad. Because that's literally what, I forget what coach I was listening to, but he was a mid-major coach. I think he was on with Blake LaBelle, who does a college basketball podcast, and he was talking about how every tournament he went to, and they had a kid who was either committed or really interested in them, he wanted them to play worse, because if they did too well, they would have a Power 5 school just lock them up, and there's no chance.
We had a kid, we found this kid, Sky Alexander from Canada a year and a half ago. We got a commitment from him. The coaches got it and found him. And he blew up. And Calipari said, I want you. So he...
Who was it?
Playing for them. His name is Sky Alexander or Shy or some point guard. He should be on their team this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I want you. Okay.
That's the way it works, though.
Yeah, no, we never. If Calipari wants a guy, it's not even a point even going after him.
Yep. Calipari and Coach K have separated themselves from everyone else.
We had that happen to us with what's his name, Grace Allen, with Coach K.
Oh, really?
Billy was on Grace Allen for like 3 years. He's a Florida kid, and then the very end, like right before
And he's 4-year college player. He would have fit in really well with Florida.
Yeah.
That's a shame. What current high school players, so whether it's Bagley Porter, Zion Williamson, LaMelo Ball, do you have the most hot takes that you can post on Old Takes Exposed, whether everyone thinks they're going to be bad or everyone thinks they're going to be good?
Oh, it's going to be Porter or that Williamson kid.
All right.
Ball. Yeah, actually Ball. Because Ball. But Ball is going to be Ball here. I think we're going to have a lot more of him than saying he stinks.
Yes.
Because he shucks like they have it. But the Williamson kid and the Porter kid, I don't really know anything about them. I don't really watch the high school videos, but those kids are the ones who are getting all the
love.
I remember when the guy was Harrison Barnes.
Oh, yeah.
The guy. Oh, God, he was the guy. And
I remember.
his career, you know what, it wasn't really good. It was a disappointment because he wasn't amazing.
And he was still drafted 7th overall by the Golden State
He
Warriors.
was a really good player. You know, he just wasn't like the greatest player of all time, like everyone said he was going to be.
I remember.
That was a big time guy. Him was a big time guy. Harrison Barnes. I mean, I remember a lot of these guys coming in. I remember when Billy was at UF, we got Kwame Brown.
And then he went straight to the
He was the number one
draft.
recruit in the country. He was the number one recruit in the country. And Billy got him. He was from Georgia, but then he went to the NBA.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff like that. Baseball is great with stuff like that.
No, it isn't. Because I'm a Vandy fan. I think last
Mike
year.
Trout was an East Carolina commit.
I think it was last year where Vandy had like 16 of the top 100 kids in the class committed for baseball, and like 7 or 8 of them just went straight to the MLB. And I was like, come on.
It's a risk. It's a risk for sure. It's definitely a risk. Like, you never. I remember we were Denard Span was one of those guys at UF.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys that went to pro. But a lot of the guys, it's great to see where the guys committed to go. In sports.
Well, there was a story last year about how there was a top prep school commit, and or a top high school kid, and he committed to like a community college. So in case he didn't like the team that drafted him, he could go to community college for 1 year, where instead of going like the Division I college route where you have to stay for 3 years, he was just going to pitch at a community college for 1 year and then go back to the MLB the year later, which was kind of bizarre to me.
Yeah, I remember Jose Fernandez was going to go to USF, but he never really was going to go to USF, but he was committed there.
Yeah.
College sports is the best.
Gotta love him. Any hot takes that you have right now in the sports world that you're begging to get out?
Well, I was right. I would have told you 2 weeks ago that Oklahoma State, I loved Oklahoma State love because it never follows through. It never. I think FSU is going to be really good.
So do I.
FSU's going to win.
I
I think FSU is going to like, they may lose one more.
To Clemson?
But I think they're going to beat Miami. Everyone's talking about Miami fans are great. They're talking about how FSU, we lost the 3:30, we lost the 8 o'clock game. Miami's like, acts like they're better, but they've only beaten Toledo and Cincinnati.
Toledo's pretty good.
Toledo's pretty good, but Miami. Here's the thing about Miami: their players are much bigger, and
They still gave them
much
much years.
pressure, and they wore them out at the end. But in Miami, to play those games in Miami teams get worn out.
With the Heat.
That's why Miami should be playing these noon games against teams like that. Yeah, teams get worn out. The Dolphins would get great wins from teams that way better than them because of that at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being from like Toledo, which is right around here, like an hour drive west, and trying to play in that Miami Heat. That'd be horrible.
But I think everybody's going to be good. And they could beat Clemson.
I
I think the game's at home. No. Where is that game?
No,
it's at Clemson.
Yeah, I thought it was at Clemson.
That game. But I think they're going to beat Miami. I think they're going to be much better. The quarterback's going to be much better. The defensive coach, nobody thinks he's all that great. But they have good players. So that's.
I took them against the spread this week.
I don't think they're going to be able to make it out of the division because
Clemson, NC State, and Louisville.
They probably won't. So.
Yeah, but they're still a really talented team. So you loved Oklahoma State because you can post on your page and you think Florida State is going to be really good.
I think they're going to be good.
All right. I can respect that as a Florida fan.
Yeah.
I respect that a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're such a pedestrian team.
Anything else you have for me? Hating on my Rodgers is the best quarterback of all time take, and it's not close.
I mean, look, it's such a subjective thing, so it's like...
Yeah, you can't post that on your page.
It's such a subjective thing. So, I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what it is. You know, I don't know. It's all a matter of circumstance and things like that, too. Right? It's really objective. It's, I don't know. But, you know, of all time, that's bold. It's really bold, even. You also didn't really watch Montana play or all the other guys.
Well, no.
And also, like, comparing back then to now, I mean,
It's way
there
different.
wasn't much passing. The passing was just the game.
Exactly.
Difference. It's hard to compare back then to now.
Totally.
Yeah. That's fine.
So
I
no-
was surprised by all time.
No other questions you have for me?
No.
All
I
right.
mean, keep looking at those basketball statistical stuff because, like, I don't know anything about that. You can throw some sort of statistical thing at me, like I'll say something about basketball or something. And say, I don't really say that much because I don't really know. But you go, no, but he has like a ratio of some sort that he'll throw out.
Oh, yeah.
I usually get burned by baseball guys because of that. But basketball is different. But yeah, I don't really know much about that stuff.
Yeah, somebody I follow on Twitter, Ben Falk, he recently posted a beta version of a new website that's coming out called Cleaning the Glass, and it has every single advanced basketball stat you could ever watch. Like, Basketball Reference is great, but this website is like so much more in depth. It has how often they shoot from anywhere on the court, how efficient they are from every spot, on off court numbers. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's free. Good for guys like you. That's.
Yeah, I soak up all that
won't look at
information.
it. I don't have time to figure these stuff out.
No.
No, that's good. We're good.
All right. Thanks so much for coming on. I'll make sure to keep annoying you in our DMs, where we have some of
You do it. You do it.
we have some of the best talks ever in our DMs. Like,
Yeah.
we really do post some really insightful stuff. And there are a lot of times when, like, you'll be typing something, and then I'll type something, and I'll type something that'll be like in the middle of your paragraphs, and you're like reading each other's mind. Yeah, so
It's true.
that's when you know intellectually we're the same. But
Pretty much. You know a lot more than me now. I can tell you that. I don't pay as much attention. I don't have the time to pay attention
No.
more as much as you. Yeah. I used to be like you, so I have all these stats floating in my head from back in the day.
yeah,
I like that.
I was having an argument with somebody, and my one teacher was like, "Michael, you've forgotten more stats than this other person knows."
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Do you ever see Pete Briscoe? He says it all the time about basketball. If someone says to him about basketball, he'll say, I forgot more basketball than you.
Yeah, you had him on the podcast. He was pretty funny. His Russell Wilson take is so wrong, like unbelievably wrong. But
he'll never give it up. He just likes the regular drop back pass.
Wilson's really good inside the pocket though, which makes it weird.
Yeah.
We won't get into that debate. We'll wrap it up. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Make sure to follow Fred at Old Takes Exposed on Twitter. He does some great work. Good luck to you in trying to do some stuff in the media. I know you were on Good Morning Football in studio. I'm sure that was a great experience for you. So that'll wrap it up for this episode of FHS Season Tickets. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more season ticket videos.